am here at the Canadian Video Game Museum with Ryan Dunnison, the team lead here on this project. So what is the Canadian Video Game Museum?
So right now, the Canadian Video Game Museum is a volunteer-run team. It's sort of a collaboration between a bunch of individuals who started off at the Center for Digital Media during their master's program. We started it using their venture track, which is basically purpose-built to try out new company ideas. And for us, for me personally, actually, the goal with going to the school was to try to start this experience, and when I managed to pitch to get this thing going through the school and gather a team through that. And it's been in the works ever since. So it's been about a year now, and we are still growing, still evolving. We've done a number of pop-ups, and this is our first sort of more true installation that we've accomplished. Yeah.
What makes this museum, the Canadian Video Game Museum, unique compared to other museums?
Yeah, so actually in Canada right now, we have no permanent video game museum. That was one of the things we were looking at when we were looking at what we were trying to do here. Ultimately, our goal is to become a permanent museum, not just a digital or a pop-up based experience. Obviously, there's challenges to that, but we are in Canada here. We're one of the top 10 countries for game development in the world. We are, I think, number 2 in the number of people who are employed by the in the video game industry, and I think we're number 4 in terms of the number of games released. So we're prolific, we're big, but we're also the only one of the countries in either of those lists in the top 10 that doesn't have any form of permanent video game museum. So the first thing was to just exist. But once you get that part figured out, the second part that we were really looking at here is to try to figure out ways to bring kind of game ideas into the experience of teaching about games. So as the experience behind you can kind of show, we are using digital concepts to try to teach things about some of the physical things in our industry, but also obviously our product is digital in many ways. So it's an attempt to kind of do what film does with documentaries in using their own medium to kind of teach the medium. We're trying to do a similar process here. And so we're doing a lot of prototyping and trying to figure out things that work with that process. And a lot of that is to help uncover some of the things that go into game development. That's, I think, one of the other main areas that I think we're focusing on that a lot of other video game museums historically have not been doing as much of. We do also have a lot of product, obviously, because that's what people know and what they're familiar with, and it's important to show off the things that we've done here. But we also feel it's really important to highlight like what goes into making these games and what are some of the thoughts that developers have and the challenges that they face in doing so. So again, going back to the exhibit behind you, it gets a little bit into how hardware can impact software by showing you a little bit of the constraints that you have to deal with when making a video game. Yeah.
What's one thing here in the museum that someone shouldn't miss if they were to come by?
Yeah, well, I would say our little digital prototype here is a great start. And outside of that, I think coming to see some of the starting points for the industry here in the city is kind of a fascinating tale of a number of different factors kind of coming together, both East Coast and West Coast kind of uniting in a way in order to create a scenario and a scene where we could create a development community locally, and that evolved over time to create a fairly vibrant industry here. Yeah.
Amazing. What kind of experience do you want visitors to walk away with from the museum?
I'm hoping that most of the visitors walk away with just an impression of how much actually has happened here. I think a lot of people don't realize some of the prolific companies and the large titles and award-winning titles and franchises that have come out of the city. I know even I myself, in some cases, was shocked to find a certain game or franchise here and there that I grew up playing, and then I realized, oh, it was just down the road from me this whole time. And so I think that that's a starting point to that conversation. And hopefully, as well as we continue to develop and add some of these more digital experiences and some other pieces of the story, that you can get a little bit of an insight into some of the things that go on in the development process as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can totally echo that, because even when you were just giving me a little tour, I was like, oh, I remember this. That was made here. And that happened like 5 or 10 times. So that was pretty awesome. Where can people find this museum? How long is it open for? How can someone come check out the Canadian Video Game Museum?
Yeah, so we will be here at the Museum of Vancouver in the former gift shop area. And we're here Thursdays through Sundays right now from noon to close. So on Thursdays through Saturdays, that's till 8, and on Sundays, that's till 5. We are hoping to be here until fall. Exactly when will depend on a lot of different things. So keep an ear out for when that's shifting, but we'll be constantly evolving this, as we're a small, scrappy team, and we really believe in like iteration and learning from what people are interacting with to try to like add more of that experience. So if you want to come back a couple times, you might see it change over a couple months, and if you just want to come once, you can come kind of anytime, but it will be different anytime you come. So that's our hope. Anyways.
That's awesome. One last bonus question. Where can people find you, and where can people follow along?
Yeah, so we have a website. It's CVGM.ca, so CanadianVideoGameMuseum.ca. And we also have an Instagram, which is, I think, just CVGM.ca as well. So that's our easiest place to find us at the moment online. And we will be updating that periodically. We're hoping to do a couple of one-off events and potentially tie-in events to different things going on here. And so that's probably the best place to find out news about that is going to be our Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Thank you.